Hello everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to the channel. Thanks as always for tuning in. This week I'm back in North Wales in Snowdonia National Park, and to be honest, last week in Scotland was absolutely incredible. I've got such fond memories, and I've just spent this week dreaming about that location. It was just absolutely immense. If you haven't seen this video, I'll stick a link up here in the corner. But yeah, not really a terrible consolation being back in Snowdonia this week. You'll know if you watch me regularly, I spend a lot of time here and I absolutely adore the place, so it's always a pleasure to be back here. This week I'm heading up a peak called Moel Siarbod, which isn't too difficult, but it's going to give us some stunning scenery. And the weather is absolutely mental, let me tell you. It is probably 13 or 14 degrees, it might even get up to sort of 15 midday. Bearing in mind it's winter here in the UK, blue skies, just an absolute stunning day for a hike. It feels like the end of spring. It's crazy. So really going to enjoy that today. This week I'm back with Ian Worth. We're meeting up to do a little bit of a hike and some filming together. Fellow landscape photographer, so that should be fun. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, it's been quite hectic recently. What with me feeling a bit of pressure with my calendar. Big trip up to Scotland last week, and I really just want to sort of chill out this week with Ian. Enjoy spending time with him, enjoy spending time out in nature, and just all in all really enjoy this hike. And we'll see what happens with the landscape photography. I certainly don't want to put pressure on myself or anything like that today, but I'm sure the camera will be coming out either way. So yeah, I hope you guys will stick with me as always, and let's go and explore. Oh yeah, so what a beautiful location. It really is. And Ian's just sort of down there somewhere behind me getting a few shots, but yeah, really glorious hike, beautiful weather, the sun's in and out, not too much wind, like I say, fairly mild for this time of year as well. Ridiculous, but just really enjoying this sort of lack of pressure that I've put on myself. Not even thought about getting my camera out just yet. However, as we sort of venture further up the side of this peak here, we are eventually going to get to a bit of a valley, and there's a sort of lake up there, so something tells me it's going to be very photogenic up there, and chances are I'll probably end up getting the old camera out. But yeah, just enjoying the sort of really relaxed, chilled out sort of atmosphere today. Awesome to be out with Ian again as always. But yeah, it's going to carry on up this mountain and see where this wonderful hike brings us. Alright, so what an awesome adventure so far, and we sort of come over the brow of this hill here just before our final ascent to the peak of Moel Siarbod. And we've got this beautiful lake up here, this Clin, I suppose you'll call it, and we're in a little bit of a valley, which is nice because we're a bit sheltered by the from the wind as well. The wind has actually picked up as we've got a little bit higher. Of course it has. But as you can see, I'm set up for first shot of the day, and a little bit unexpected. Cracked out the 55 to 200 lens again, and I'm zoomed right in at 200 millimeters. And me and Ian sort of spotted these beautiful layers off in the distance to back towards the east, I suppose. And yeah, there's quite a lot of haze in the atmosphere today, and the sun's sort of fighting to shine through some of these clouds, these high altitude clouds. And yeah, it's giving us this beautiful haze, but in terms of these layers, I think it looks gorgeous. It looks a little bit more like mist, and it really helps to sort of separate the layers and off in the distance. Then with that telephoto lens on the front as well, it's just adding towards that. A lot of drama in this photograph as well. So real simple stuff here. And we've got a sort of little bit of a foreground element. It's still right off in the distance, but we've got this beautiful curve, and I think it's just a bit of looks like a pine plantation, a forest plantation. And as that forest sort of stops on the edge and becomes just a sort of normal mountain, it's given us a beautiful curve that leads for us right up to them layers, which is fantastic. ISO 100, f10, and middle of the day, 1/200th of a second. And I'll tell you now, there is zero colour in this image, so it will definitely be a black and white. A little bit of work to do in post, I think, especially on the sky. It's a little bit sort of uninteresting, there's not a lot going on, quite flat light in the foreground. But yeah, like I say, I think in post I can probably do a little bit with this image, so pretty decent first shot of the day. Alright, so we've, I don't know how far we're up here, maybe a third, half the way. Perhaps I'm just being a bit optimistic, but no, it's been pretty exciting. The views have got extraordinary. Beautiful sort of panoramic views all the way around. You can probably see behind me and Ian here, we've got this sort of really strange haze in the atmosphere, but I really like it, and you see Ian's taking a couple of shots there as well. Yeah, we've just got this gorgeous sort of ridge line here that I'm really liking in the foreground, and then right off in the background we've got some even higher peaks there, which I'm assuming is a sort of Snowdon area, but it's making for a really nice photograph, I think, I hope. And I'm just shooting handheld, you know, middle of the day. My shutter speed is 1/400th of a second. I think that was the same as my last shot actually. So there really isn't any need for my tripod. I'm using my long lens again. I'm zooming in about 100mm. And all I'm trying to do is capture this sort of ridge line in the foreground. We've got some sort of road or track that's sort of helping to lead the eye into that ridge line. And just as it sort of comes down there at the bottom of the V, if you can imagine, we then see right off in the background, like I mentioned, that beautiful sort of Snowdon range there, or what I think is the Snowdon range. And yeah, a pretty easy shot to take, but pretty effective. And I really am liking that haze again. And then we've got a few sort of beautiful moody clouds there at the top of the frame, which is actually helping to sort of frame the whole composition, which I like. So I'm going to grab that one now, and we're going to carry on up to the top of the peak. Hope you like that one, guys. So I'm just filming off my iPhone here. I hope you guys can hear me all right. Yeah, Ian's just sent me up to, I don't even know if you can see him, he's back there somewhere. There he is. He's just sent me up to, he's directing me to stand up on this sort of ridge here. See down here. He's back there, and then hopefully we're going to get this sort of beautiful view in the background. So I'm going to be the foreground element basically. So if it all works out, I'll stick that shot up for you now to see, and then we're going to crack on up to the top of the mountain. Oh, we have made it to the summit of Moel Shiar Bod, wherever the hell you say it, and it is just absolutely stunning. Let me try my very best. Give you a little bit of a 360 down there. Hope you can see that. That's the lake that we were at before when I took my first image, actually. So we've come a long way since then. Angels there, you can see them behind me. And I don't think we're going to take any shots up here. It is beautiful, but yeah, photographically, for me anyway, it's not really working at the minute. In saying that, Ian has just took another shot of me as a bit of a model or whatever you want to call it, from this very spot, and he was up there on the actual summit of Moel Shiar Bod, and then I was here, and then we had this sort of beautiful view in the background. You can see this bit of a ridge line there, absolutely stunning. It was gorgeous, a little bit of a scramble to get up. It's quite hard work at times, you know, a lot of loose rocks and that sort of thing, but always worth it when you get to the top. So I think I'm going to call it a day. I don't think I want to take any photographs up here. So I enjoy the walk back down with Ian, back to the cars. No real point in staying for sunset. We've still got another 2 or 3 hours, and as you can see, it's pretty overcast. So thank you so much for watching, as always, and I shall see you next week on the next adventure. Out.
Mm-hmm.